Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news from Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report's election night coverage. I'm Valentina Nunez.
And I'm Mackenzie Kane. We're getting even more numbers in for the races that matter to you. The presidential House District 6 and Senate elections, as well as local city council and school board elections for Lexington, Buena Vista, and Rockbridge County. And we've got details on how your presidential and state candidates are doing locally.
Let's see where the presidential candidates stand in the popular vote. Right now, as we can see, the Republican candidate Donald Trump is leading with 15,477,924 votes. We have Kamala Harris for the Democratic Party right behind at 12,954,546 votes.
In Lexington City locally, President of the United States, Kamala Harris is leading with 1,648 votes. That's with one of one precincts reporting, but there are still more to come. Following is President Trump, former President Trump. Now
in Buena Vista City, for the President of the United States, we have Donald Trump leading with 1,928 votes and Kamala Harris with 736 right behind.
As we look into Rockbridge County, the presidential popular votes, former President Trump is leading with 8,304 votes, followed by Kamala Harris, 4,085.
Now let's look at how Democratic incumbent Tim Kaine and Republican Hung Kao are doing. Right now we have Tim Kaine leading with 1,665 votes in Lexington City and Hung Kao with 901 votes right behind him.
And in Buena Vista for that U.S. Senate race, Hung Kao is leading with 1,800 votes, 67%, followed by the incumbent Tim Kaine with 33%.
In Rockbridge County, we have Hung Kao leading with 8,056 votes and Tim Kaine right behind him with 4,438 votes. As we can see, the Lexington City 6th District, we have Ken Mitchell leading with 1,554 votes. Right behind him, we have incumbent Ben Klein with 957 votes and Robbie Wells Jr. with 42 votes.
And in Buena Vista City, incumbent Ben Klein led with 1,968 votes, 73%, followed by Ken Mitchell, followed by Robbie Wells Jr.
Looking at Rockbridge County, we have incumbent Ben Klein leading with 8,474 votes, Ken Mitchell with 3,869, and Robbie Wells Jr. with 161.
Also on the Virginia ballot tonight is a constitutional amendment that would extend property tax exemption to surviving spouses of soldiers who died in the line of duty. Currently, the yeses have it at 93% of the votes.
Here in Lexington, 4 candidates compete for 3 seats on City Council. We have Marilyn Alexander leading the group and Leslie Strawn right behind her, John Driscoll looking for the 3 seats right now, and Madeline Robinson last in Lexington City.
Now looking at the Lexington City School Board, in the lead is Tammy Dunn with 1,245 votes. Also on track for those seats is Casey Potter with 24% of the votes, followed by Katie Macy with 23%, and Megan Ferguson looking to break into that one of those 3 seats.
An incumbent Lexington Mayor Frank Friedman runs, again unopposed tonight, with 2,028 votes.
In Goshen, 3 candidates compete for 2 spots on Town Council. My apologies. Buena Vista City Council is currently a race between Stanley Coffey and Jody Fix. Now, Coffey has the lead right now in that race for that unexpired term with 53% of the votes.
In Goshen, 3 candidates compete for 2 spots on Town Council. Right now, we have Sheila Sampson and Stephen Bickley Sr. in those 2 spots, with Jeff Schaefer trailing behind.
And in Glasgow for the Town Council 3 seats, we have Natalie Harris leading with 62 votes, followed by Marcy Hill and Brandall Branch.
That covers all the races we're tracking for now. As we continue to see numbers come in locally and nationally, our Rockbridge Report voter tabulation team is still working hard for you. Let's check in with Devin Bateman for more results.
Thank you, Valentina. We're back in the Rockbridge Report newsroom, and I'm here with Alex Kagan. with more questions. Alex, so we've noticed some differences between predictions and reality. Can you tell us a little bit about what's the difference maker here?
So Republicans in Virginia in the Senate and presidential races are overperforming their polling. So Trump's leading 50 to 48.5 over Vice President Harris, and Hung Cao is down 49-51. Trump was polling about -10 to Vice President Harris, and 130 out of Virginia's 133 counties and cities are shifting towards Trump since 2020. It's still unlikely that he'll pull out a victory, as that 2020 result was -10 for Trump statewide, but he's drastically overperforming, especially given both parties sort of pulled funding out of Virginia. But we're seeing a lot of shift towards Republicans, and perhaps a little bit of play in the presidential election. The four independents or third parties on the ballot have 2% of the share of the vote that may affect things if things get pretty close.
Alrighty, and how does that relate to some of the non-presidential races that are taking place and the voting that's taking place in Virginia?
Closer to Lexington, a lot of these are nonpartisan races. So, it depends on the perception of the candidates in their local areas. But given that Virginia doesn't have any statewide or state senate or state house, it's uncertain what this will bring for the future.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you as always. Back to you, Valentina.
Thank you, Devin. Up next on the Rockbridge Report, a live look at Rockbridge County Republicans election night event. Our own Caden Buss will interview local party leadership.
Make sure to follow along with the ticker at the bottom of your screen for continuous results. Stay with us here at the Rockbridge Report. Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report's 2024 election coverage. Let's take a peek at the Virginia U.S. Senate election, where incumbent Tim Kaine is currently running against Hung Cao, and Tim Kaine is in the lead with 52% of the votes, 1,248,049 votes, followed by Hung Cao's 1,155,777.
And as
we take a peek into the U.S. House of Representatives vote in that 6th district. Yes.
Yes. We're calling incumbent Ben Klein. He won the 6th district with 138,113 votes, 64% of the votes. Looks like he took it.
Yeah, followed by that Ken Mitchell with the 34% and Robbie Wells Jr. with 2%. Mm-hmm. Now, at 7, we went live at Lexington's Democratic headquarters, but with Trump continuing to lead nationally, how do Republicans feel about their chances both nationally and statewide? The Rockbridge Report's Caden Buss is live once again at the Republican election night event with a leader in the party. Caden, what's going on?
Thanks, Mackenzie. We're joined back here by Rockbridge County Republican Chair Doug Smith. And Doug, Trump has a small lead right now in Virginia. Why do you think that is?
That's wonderful news. The Trump campaign put a lot of groundwork in this state, organizing, getting folks out. They concentrated on the Republican voter who doesn't always show up every time to vote, not zombies like our opponents. And this time I think they were very successful in getting out the vote, just like we did in 2021. Not kind of dissimilar issues from 2021, but still, quite a bit to excite and energize the Virginia voter, and we'll see what happens.
And then on the flip side, Hung Cao is down. Do you think there's a lot of votes left in Republican precincts out there to count?
I sure hope so. I know in this side of the state, in rural Virginia, we only see Tim Kaine only every 6 years. Not a whole lot of love lost for him. Tim Kaine's a D.C. Swamp rat. He's going to get the federal vote, maybe some of the Richmond vote, but we hope in other ways, Hung Cao being a veteran, Tidewater will pull him through in Western Virginia. So.
And then how are you guys feeling about Ben Klein's lead in the 6th Congressional District?
We kind of accepted that we knew that was going to happen, knew he was going to crush it. Ben Klein's very popular in this district. He accurately reflects the voters of the 6th District. Aside from some very small blue areas, Ben Klein is the 6th District.
All right, well, thanks, Doug. That'll do it here from the Rockbridge County Republicans Watch Party. Back to you guys in the studio.
Well, thank you, Caden, for that update. Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, we'll be joined one last time by Democratic and Republican analysts for their reactions to the latest results.
Stay with us here at the Rockbridge Report. Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. We're joined again by Republican analyst Charlie Milchek and Democratic analyst Brady Madden. Brady, I'll ask again since we've got more results. What are your reactions to the latest data?
You know, I really don't think much has changed since we last talked. Georgia and North Carolina continue to be close. Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, results are coming in. And as of 9, I think Nevada's closed and Arizona soon to follow. So it's going to be I think we're in for the long haul. It's going to be at least until tomorrow, if not late in the week, until we get results from some of these swing states. And I think right now Harris's best path to victory is through those states up in the north of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, which is very likely and possible.
And to you, Charlie, the same question. What are your reactions?
I'm feeling great right now. Georgia and North Carolina, Trump is doing significantly better than he did back in 2020. He's where he needs to be to win those states. And what I'm most impressed by right now is in Virginia, Trump's holding out a lead while only 60% of the vote has already been counted. So Trump's doing really well. Very pleased with the results so far. Like Brady said, it's going to be a late night, but I'm excited and happy.
Well, thank you, Charlie. And all eyes are on the presidential election right now, but control of the House and the Senate is still up for grabs. Brady, what have you seen on the Democratic end?
Yeah, so from a Senate perspective, it's always been an uphill battle for the Democrats. I still think we have some great candidates that are fighting some tough battles in Ohio, and Montana's polls are still yet to close. We'll see. Obviously, it's going to be tough. But on terms of the House side, I think Democrats are overperforming what their expectations were. They're running ahead of Harris in a lot of these competitive congressional districts in Pennsylvania and in Virginia. And we'll see as California and New York close where those end up as well.
Well, thank you, Brady. And Charlie, same question to you. Do you anticipate seeing a split Congress?
So right now, I feel like the Senate, I can confidently say it's going to be conservative. Bernie Moreno's race in Ohio and how he's performing there gives me a lot of confidence with the Senate as a whole. On the House side, it's a toss-up still. Like Brady said, the Democrats are overperforming in some key districts. But the really important districts that we need to see who controls what chamber, a lot of those are out west, a lot of those are California, a lot of those we're not going to know until much later. I will say in my hometown district, Ohio 9, Derek Marin is closely behind Marcy Kaptur, so very excited to see his performance.
Well, thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Brady, for taking the time to sit down and talk to us tonight. This concludes our election night coverage here at the Rockbridge Report. Be sure to keep up with live results coming in all night here on our live ticker and at rockbridgereport.wlu.edu.
And we'll see you on Thursday for our regular 30-minute edition of the Rockbridge Report. Thank you so much for watching.